Welcome to Women of Prosperous Hearts, Journey to Prosperity. My name is Sana Verst, and my guest today is Kathleen Sullivan.
Hi, Sana.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today.
My pleasure.
Well, let's go right into your first question. You made a huge life transition. You started a completely new career owning your own business as a certified postpartum doula and newborn care specialist, otherwise known as a baby nurse. What compelled you to make such a dramatic change at the time in your life?
Well, I was in the corporate world, as you know, because that's how we met many years ago. And I found that I was in a situation where I just was not supported by the management of the current position I was in. And I just felt this need to get out. And I didn't know what I was going to do, which is scary, but I just knew what I didn't want. And so I made this decision to, now this is 20 years ago, so this is back in the day of looking in the LA Times classified. And I remember looking, I thought I'd be maybe an estate manager. I had done property management before, so I kind of felt like that would get me out of the corporate world and take me somewhere where I didn't have those restrictions. So I'm looking in the paper, in the LA Times, and I see this small ad that says, helping new mothers with their newborns. And I read that and I thought, that is interesting. I kind of have a knack with babies, a sensibility about them. So I thought, I'm just going to find out what this is about. And that's kind of how things led me to where I am today.
Okay. In your brief bio, you describe yourself as a certified postpartum doula and newborn care specialist, but actually you are so much more. You own placement business where you book other doulas to help parents with overnight care. You offer a wide range of one-to-one online educational and support services for new parents. Parents can even purchase well-vetted baby gear from your website. What drives your business vision and entrepreneurial spirit?
Wow. I think looking back when I was in sales, which is where we met, I was very successful, top salesperson monthly, and then went into management. So I've always had a drive, and it kind of transferred over to being self-employed and having that spirit of being an entrepreneur, even though when I was in sales, I wasn't an entrepreneur, but so I've always had the drive, and I'm not exactly sure where that comes from, but I'm grateful for it. So 20 years ago, when I made that transition to become a postpartum doula, it evolved over time, and so with evolvement, I had so much business, I didn't want to, because I was already booked, I didn't really want to turn people away for the support, so I created a registry where I could provide work for these people, or support for these people, and then provide work for other women that are doulas. So I started that about 7 or 8 years ago, and I love that because I provide work for women in my industry, as well as the fact that I don't have to turn down first-time parents that are looking for support.
Also, recently you had a commercial on Spectrum in your neighborhood in Silver Lake.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
I did an article, someone did an article on me in a magazine called Voyage LA, and I sent it out to various friends and family. And my friend Phil LaBelle, who is a PR person, I sent it to him, and he suggested that I reach out to Spectrum. He knew someone there, and they do human interest stories. And they picked it up, and we did the interview, and that's how it happens. Very exciting.
Also, I know that you're transitioning a bit into assisting people over the phone. Is that correct?
Well, it's a little bit more than that, but yes, I am. I've been working considerably doing nights for the last 20 years, supporting first-time parents. And I've learned that there's a lot of women out there and parents that need guidance, but they don't necessarily need night support, or there's a financial issue or something. So I've learned that I can support these people virtually, and they sign up for a 12-week package I have, which is the 12 weeks, that's the newborn stage, and I support them. I answer questions via text, FaceTime, Zoom. I've worked with people in other states, other countries, and that those consultations are what I'm really moving into, which I really love.
What I love is when we're out and about, that you always run into one of your mothers. Like, remember when we were at one of the Christmas parties?
Oh, yes.
And we ran into that mother?
Yeah.
And we were in a bookstore and we ran into one of your mothers?
Yeah.
And I know you get raving reviews on Yelp.
Yeah, thank you.
So you always have people coming back a second time, isn't that right?
Yes, I do. I have them coming back a second time and sometimes a third. I've worked with over 1,000 newborns and their parents. So I think that's why the odds of running into some of these moms is why it happens.
When you moved from a successful, well-paying corporate job into an uncertainty of owning your own business, what challenges did you face making this transition? Did you ever question the wisdom of your choice, and what kept you going?
When I found out this from this small ad in the Times, I met with this woman who had an agency, and I had to take several courses and certifications first, but I dove right in and did all that, and then she had me on her as working for her agency, and I made $25 an hour, and she kept $12.50.
Whoa!
So, talk about a challenge, because I came from a successful career. That was frustrating and difficult, but I put one foot in front of the other, and then I met a woman who also had an agency that was a little bit more financially beneficial, and I jumped on her agency and her registry and started working with her, and then until I was in a position where I could build my website, and that's kind of took off from there.
So how did you survive during those times with $12.50 an hour?
Well, it was difficult. I had some savings from my previous career, and it was tough. I think I borrowed money from people and things like that, but once I was able to find out about this other woman and this other agency, I was able to jump on that.
Okay. And then what is your advice to those who want to do what you did? Namely, leaving the security of a corporate life to embrace something that, as Oprah would say, lights you up.
20 years ago, my options were looking in the LA Times newspaper. So today, 20 years later, there are so many opportunities for people who want to investigate being self-employed or being an entrepreneur. It's endless. And so I say, certainly look into all aspects of what it's going to take to start a new business. Find out what it is that I don't know if necessarily the word is passion, but I certainly, if you're in a position right now in a job where you're not happy and it's just a kind of a 9 to 5 or whatever, certainly look into what it is that you think would make you happy, make you successful, but do some homework and investigate what steps you need to take to make that happen.
I know you hang out with a lot of young people in their 20s, right? And 30s. And I was just wondering, what do you tell them when you're sitting on your deck with them, having a few drinks? What do you say to them? I know it makes you happy. Look at you.
Yeah, well, I do.
Up.
I love my friends. What's interesting is that most of the young people that I do hang out with are self-employed. So I offer a lot of wisdom sometimes, whether it's wanted or not, but certainly everybody that I know is self-employed. So they have their own business.
What do you say to them? What kind of wisdom do you give them? I know you do it.
I think that more than anything, I offer wisdom in life situations more than business. Okay. Some of them are more successful than I am. But yeah, I think it's about perception and interpretation of life that they don't really grasp yet, that I can share with them.
Okay. And let me ask you this. If you had one book that you could require reading for a young person or a young woman coming of age, what would that book be?
Great question. And there's probably several, but I would say for me, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle.
And why is that?
Because he has this ability to be able to break down how we can perceive life and how we perceive ourselves with others in a way that gives us so much clarity, takes us to a place where we can observe whether or not we're living our life through our ego or not, and how to be the best version of who we are and how we interpret life.
And did you have a role model growing up?
I don't know if I did. I mean, I did have a boss when I was really young, and her name is Linda, and I can't think of her last name, but she promoted me when I was least expected it, and that gave me a sense of confidence that I didn't even know that I had, so that's probably who she was.
So someone took you under their wing.
She did. She really believed in me more than I believed in myself.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing.
Yeah, it's huge.
Kathleen, please fill in this blank for me. Self-empowerment means?
Self-empowerment means, to me, not letting other people take you away from what you and who you want to be. I find that I can be easily influenced by other people, and I've learned that if I stay strong to my beliefs, and it's very empowering. People like Linda, the boss I had, that's self-empowerment, when someone allows you to shine in an arena that you didn't even know you could. So I think it's things like that that are self-empowering.
All right. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Me too, Sana.
I can't wait to continue.
Yes.
But anyway, all of you, please come back to our next episode. Thank you for participating and viewing today, and see you soon.